Hey, what's going on, you guys? Frank back, and in today's video, as I am currently speaking, Wrestlemania season is upon us. We are just a week out from the biggest wrestling event, maybe of all time. If we're kind of looking at the card for this year, the hype is real. We got The Rock, we got Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk's going to be there, Seth Rollins. It has never been a better time to be a wrestling fan, so I thought it would be cool to kind of look at my collection while also talking about the Wrestlemania card, looking at all the figures that I kind of associate with that. And I wanted to start off kind of showcasing these guys in the beginning of the video. This is my full bloodline display, and I think this just looks awesome, having everyone from Paul Heyman to Solo to the Usos, Roman, The Rock, and of course Sami Zayn. But without any further ado, guys, we are going to get into all the different Wrestlemania predictions. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to show off some figures. If you guys want to drop your Wrestlemania predictions in the comments below, please feel free to do so. But yeah, let's start talking about some toys. So when we do talk about Wrestlemania from the past few years, you have to mention Roman Reigns. He has been main eventing back-to-back Manias, from Edge and Daniel Bryan to Brock Lesnar to Cody Rhodes to now Cody Rhodes again, as well as Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. This guy has completely reinvented himself since the COVID era. So as far as figures go, this was the 3-pack Roman Reigns. I gave him an Ultimate Edition Hulk Hogan hand so that he can do the We the Ones, and then he's got the white t-shirt on, as well as the lei, the man bun head sculpt, and the Universal title. I like this figure. I wish he did have the more accurate like fade and everything, but I think for Roman Reigns this looks good. And I mean, he spends just as much time nowadays in the promo gear. Honestly, he spends more time in the promo gear than he does his in-ring gear, so I think it's definitely essential to have one of these guys. And then over here we have the Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns. This guy's got all of the upgraded articulation, everything. I decided to give him 2 red gauntlets. I think it just looks a little bit cooler. He's got the Roman Reigns side plates and everything. But yeah, I think this has got to be the year that he drops it, right? Roman can't hold on to the belt another year. I know they really want to do Roman versus The Rock, and I think it would be kind of cool to see, but like, come on. If Cody doesn't win this year, I really don't know what they're gonna do with him and everything. But I mean, I'm invested, to say the least. I just don't think I can go through another year of this guy being champion. This year especially, like the matches with the Usos were pretty good. His singles match with Jay was alright, but other than that, like the LA Knight match was meh. The Fatal 4-Way I thought was really boring. It's gotta end here with Mania 4, you guys. I don't know about Roman Reigns anymore, but yeah, some really cool Roman Reigns action figures. Now moving on from champion to challenger, this is the Cody Rhodes figures. Cody Rhodes winning 2 Royal Rumbles in a row, doing back-to-back Mania main events as well. These are both AEW figures, so this is from the Unrivaled Series 4 or Unmatched, one of the two. It's definitely from Series 4 though. So this is a suited Cody, which again, Cody spends a lot of time doing promos and everything. Definitely need that. I gave him the TNT title as well, so it's not technically WWE Cody, but I really think these Cody figures are some of the best, especially this one. This is the Supreme Collection Cody Rhodes. He came with 2 different tights and everything. He's got alternate hands, so if you pull these off here, nope, accidentally hit the mic getting that one out, but if you pull out these arms, take off this jacket, then you get an in-ring Cody Rhodes. And I mean, what a turnaround that this guy has made in the past however many years. I remember watching one of the Thanksgiving editions of AEW when Cody kept throwing his weight belt into the crowd, and the crowd was throwing it back and everything. People hated Cody Rhodes, and now it's like you cannot escape Cody. I mean, people picked Cody over The Rock when The Rock came back, and that is really amazing. So I'm really hoping that Cody does finish the story this year. I mean, he's got to. If he doesn't do it now, he's never going to do it, guys. Now, moving on to someone who has really made his presence felt this WrestleMania season, The Rock. I mean, who would have thought that The Rock would come back? Honestly, after the TKO stuff, it was kind of predictable a little bit. I don't think people thought he would be as good as he was. Like, I was really expecting babyface Rock versus heel Roman, whatever. But this heel final boss run of The Rock, especially after he beat up Cody in Chicago, man, things are really looking good for The Rock. I'm kind of glad that he's having this run now. It's super cool. He's cutting really good promos. They're really cheesy villain promos, but they're so cool. He's just really done a great job on reinventing himself, using kind of stuff from the past while also working with stuff from the present, bouncing off Roman. I do kind of feel bad for Roman to an extent because The Rock's doing such a great job that he's really kind of overshadowing Roman. This figure is from the Ultimate Edition line. As you can see, the head's got a little bobblehead action going on there. But I mean, other than that, it's a really nice looking Rock figure. He's also doing the We the Ones. I mean, now at this point for a Bloodline display, you need a good Rock figure, and the Ultimate Edition figures are some of the best WWE figures you can buy. Came with this title with the Rock side plates and everything. He's got the basic Rock tights on. I'd be curious to see what his in-ring attire looks like for Mania. But yeah, nice looking Rock figure. Moving on to Cody's buddy for this WrestleMania season, we have Seth freaking Rollins, and this is a SummerSlam Elite figure. I just gave him the WCW World Heavyweight title. This attire is supposed to be based on the Rey Mysterio Halloween Havoc attire. I think it's a cool looking figure. He's got the man bun head sculpt and everything. This was before Mattel started doing the double jointed arms and everything, but it still has like the photoreal tech for the face and everything. It looks really good. Like, this is the kind of fate I wish they would give Roman Reigns figures, where you can see the transition and everything. But yeah, really, the pink really stands out on this guy. Yeah, really, really nice Seth Rollins figure. He's definitely got to be losing the belt at WrestleMania. I know some people are speculating Damian Priest to cash in. I personally hope that Drew just wins it, because Drew McIntyre has been on the run of his career. I think Drew McIntyre now is so entertaining. But yeah, Seth Rollins, really happy he's finally getting a WrestleMania main event. He's in a really prominent role. Again, I know they keep calling him the secondary champion, but working with Cody, Roman, and The Rock, I think has really elevated his championship. And then I'm really hoping that Drew McIntyre kind of brings that title to the next level. I don't know, Damian Priest just seems like kind of a downgraded champion. He really just doesn't have any character, especially compared to the rest of the Judgment Day. He really doesn't do it for me. But yeah, that's Seth freaking Rollins. Really cool figure. All right, and now moving on to two other members of the Bloodline. We, of course, have the Wise Man, Paul Heyman, as well as the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa. This is Solo Sikoa's first Elite action figure. This was the one that a lot of people had issues with because the body was really thin compared to what Solo looks like in real life. They since fixed it, but I'm good with just this one. He still has like all the tattoos and everything. This Samoan spike hand was from the Ultimate Edition Batista as well. He's also got the We the Ones. Pretty good looking head sculpt. He's got the he got them tasty little things out. But moving on, yeah, he also has this kind of tribal marking on his shorts and everything. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Solo after the Bloodline implodes, which it probably will be imploding at WrestleMania. I hope it does. I'm curious to see how far they're going to push Solo Sikoa, because I mean, he's a fine wrestler. If anything, he's really frustrating in the storylines. He keeps coming out in that stupid hoodie with the hood up like we don't know who he is. He cost Cody his story. He cost Drew the title too. He cost Sammy the title. I mean, at one point I just wanted this guy to get hit by a car, like Solo Sikoa. Come on. But yeah, moving on, here we have Paul Heyman. He's got the Universal title and the WWE title. Great looking head sculpt. This one comes from the Beast versus Tribal Chief 3-pack as well. This guy was easily the best one in this set. And honestly, when this whole Bloodline storyline was happening, I was convinced it would be like a Star Wars thing where Roman's Vader and Paul Heyman's like the Emperor pulling all the strings behind the scenes. But no, it really does seem like Roman is just all bad, and they're doing this Avengers style team up, which I think is really, really cool. Like, it's cool seeing Cody, Jay, and Seth all kind of going together against the Bloodline. I think that's really, really great stuff. Okay, so now moving on to other members of the Bloodline. This is another match that I'm really hyped for. This is Jimmy and Jay Uso. Interestingly enough, I do remember, I think it was WrestleMania 34, where it was the Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. And the whole story for the Usos going in was that they've never wrestled before on a main WrestleMania card. And now it's like the Usos main evented last year on night one of WrestleMania in a really great match. And now this year they are going head to head against each other. So over here we do have Jimmy Uso. I remember when this guy first came out, there was a little bit of controversy because everyone thought that this was just a Jay head sculpt. disguising as Jimmy. And I mean, I think if you look at them, they look different enough from each other. But yeah, I think it is interesting, kind of Jimmy's character development, how he was the one to initially break away from the bloodline. Now he's still in the bloodline. It's just like, I don't know what they're doing with Jimmy. And then here we go with Jay. Seeing Jay, how he's been handled. Really great to see him kind of in his own main event push. Wish he won the Intercontinental title from Gunther. Really think he should have, but like, surely he's got to be the one to come out on top in this match, right? I mean, there's no way that Jimmy beats Jay. I think Jimmy screwed Jay out of way too much. And honestly, at this point, Jay is just the better wrestler, better character. Yeah, I just think there's more to Jimmy with this win with Jay, my bad, than there is to give Jimmy the win. So yeah, there are the Usos. Really excited for this match. I think they're gonna definitely put something special together. A lot of super kicks we can expect, but yeah, should be really great between Jimmy and Jay. All right, and then of course we do have the guy that kind of threw all of the WrestleMania plans into chaos earlier in January when he tore his tricep. We have Mr. Phil Brooks, CM Punk himself. If there's one thing that's frustrating about wrestling, it is being a CM Punk fan and having him come back, get injured, come back, beat someone up backstage, come back, get injured again, then get fired, then come back, and then get injured yet again. Oh, what could have been if he never tore his tricep? He probably would have been feuding with Seth Rollins right now, but as of right now, he is commentating for Seth Rollins versus Drew, so it's better than not having him at all, but still, it would have been nice to see CM Punk in a singles match. For these figures here, we do have the AEW Unmatched. This guy was in the same wave as that suited Cody Rhodes I showed earlier. Yeah, this is a okay figure. He has the real AEW championship when he came back. I wonder what the long-term plan for this thing was too, but I guess we'll never know because he beat up Jungle Boy backstage. Yeah, I have thoughts on these AEW figures. I can't tell if I like them or if I don't like them. I definitely like the Cody ones. I think those ones came out good. But yeah, there's just little things that are wrong with this one, like the tattoo is printed on crooked. These elbow joints feel really like fragile. The legs are super long and skinny, but if you want to see CM Punk wearing the long john tights, this is the only way to get that. So I mean, that is kind of cool. It's definitely a unique look for CM Punk. Moving him back there, but if you're more of a purist with how you like your CM Punk looking, this is a best of pay-per-view. This was a Toys R Us exclusive that I threw. This hoodie did come with this CM Punk, but I put it on this one instead. So yeah, this is old 2014 CM Punk with the mutton chops and everything. He's got the nice red, black, and white kick pads and trunks and everything. Classic CM Punk look. The one thing that is cool about the AEW one that you don't get on the WWE figures is like the Cobra tattoo, and then he's got like the fake Pepsi tattoo. This one doesn't have it. But Mattel did also unveil a CM Punk action figure by Mattel Creations. It's a made-to-order figure from his return at Survivor Series. Definitely think I'm going to pick that one up. I think it looks cool. I like the photoreal tech for the face, and it is just an iconic moment as a Chicago native and as a CM Punk fan. Come on, gotta love the guy. Yeah, he's a little bit of an asshole, but it's CM Punk. He's cool. Now moving on to one of the other mid-card matches that I am really hyped for. We have the Intercontinental Championship match. We got Sami Zayn versus the Ring General Gunther. Gunther has held on to the title for what? Year and a half, 2 years, maybe even longer than that. And then Sami Zayn, of course, had his whole rise to prominence last year with Roman Reigns joining the Bloodline. Some of the best TV WWE's put together in a while. Honestly, I think it is Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes that really started this boom period for WWE. It's been super fun to watch since they've been going up against Roman Reigns together, but I really do want to see a Sami Zayn win here. I think we got to do like a Mania 35 situation, like how Kofi, Seth, and Becky all won the titles. I think we need Sami and Cody to both win the belts. Ideally, Seth Rollins would win too, give them all happy endings, but I know he's injured, going to get some time off, so we'll see how that goes. But as far as figures go, this is Elite 91 Sami Zayn. This was back from his like conspiracy theorist gimmick, so his hair is a little bit shorter, beard's a little bit shorter. He's got like the camo pants on. I gave him the Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns Bloodline shirt. And that whole bloodline, like in general, was one of the most fun kind of collections I've ever had to kind of put together, with getting Roman first. Then there was a break. Then I got Jay. Then there was a break. Then Jimmy. Then you keep getting them and slowly building up the team. And like obviously Sammy's an essential part. I mean, he was peak bloodline. I mean, this was the honorary Uso. Crowds were. I went to SmackDown in December of last year when John Cena and Kevin Owens challenged Sammy and Roman to a tag team match, and like the reactions that this guy was getting were absolutely crazy. Speaking of that SmackDown, Gunther has had the best live match I've ever seen, with him and Ricochet tearing it down at that same SmackDown show. This guy is great. This figure is also really great. They gave Gunther his own unique body sculpt. I don't think this has ever been used for another wrestler at all. And then he's got the nice cloth goods jacket. Gunther's a super talented wrestler. Really love him. When he drops the IC title, which I do think he will, to Sami Zayn, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here. I definitely think he can feud for the undisputed title or the heavyweight title. You know, we'll really have to wait and see. But yeah, the future's definitely bright for Gunther. I remember when they changed his name from Walter to Gunther, everyone thought they ruined him, but no, they have been building this guy strong. He has been putting on great match after great match, and I mean, him and Roman really dominant champions in the last few years. Yeah, definitely hyped for this match. So yeah, now moving on to the rest of the SmackDown kind of mid-card matches. Starting off, we do have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. A little bit of a random match. It just got put together on SmackDown this past Friday. Honestly, I think it just should have been Dominic and Rey hair versus mask, just to kind of maybe either retire Rey or kind of keep going with Dominic Mysterio's character. For the Rey Mysterio figure, this is the top picks Rey Mysterio. There's been a bunch of them. This is the pink and black one. Really like the colors on this guy. Really think the articulation on this guy is great. The head sculpt's a little bit goofy, but I think he's cool. Especially like the earlier Rey Mysterio Elite figures when I was a kid. They were always super stiff with the thighs and everything. This guy moves so nicely. Always been a big fan of this guy. He poses around super, super well. Moving on to a match that honestly for Mania, I don't care about it, and it upsets me that I don't care because I like both guys. We got LA Knight and AJ Styles. Let's just be honest, they should have been added to the United States Championship match with Randy, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul, but they were given a singles match. Honestly, whoever wins, I don't really care. I don't think either guy should lose, but, you know, it is whatever. For this AJ Styles figure, it is the Network Spotlight AJ. This was his gear he wore for the Shane McMahon match, I think at Mania 33. And then I gave him a more updated head, updated arms so I could swap out the hands and everything. Really love this AJ Styles gear. If they ever made an updated version of it, I would definitely buy it, just because the colors stand out so much. Randy's gonna fall, so we'll get Randy Orton next, because he is gonna be facing off against Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Logan Paul just signed the Prime deal with WWE. I don't think he's losing the United States Championship anytime soon. But yeah, this is a nice Elite Randy Orton figure. He's got the double jointed arms and everything. He's got the nice face print on him. I think when he started doing the RKO on the knee pads and everything, it looked a little bit dumb, but it's better than his tights that he has now. Like the tights that he has now definitely looks like Comic Sans type face a little bit. Here we have Kevin Owens. This is from the WrestleMania where he wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin. This figure came with an alternate bald cap head as well as an Austin shirt and everything. I gave him the Universal title just because there's not too many figures on the shelf that you can give a red Universal title to. Kevin Owens definitely had one of the better runs. His whole thing with Chris Jericho, I think that was the last kind of relevant, maybe not the last relevant thing that Chris Jericho did, but it's definitely up there, especially compared to what Chris Jericho is doing now in AEW. It's just like, oh man, Chris Jericho used to be one of my favorites of all time, especially when he was with Kevin Owens, and now it's just kind of sad. But yeah, Kevin Owens has had another guy that's been having a really great year, starting off winning the titles with Sami Zayn, kind of carrying on from there. He's had really good matches with Logan Paul as well. I don't think he's winning the U.S. title, but like once Roman loses that belt, a lot of opportunities going to be opening up. I think Kevin Owens has definitely been a guy that's earned an opportunity. People know more about him now than I think they did in the past. So yeah, really excited for what the future holds for Kevin Owens. And now moving on to some Raw mid-card action, we do have the tag team title ladder match. I know it's not just Raw superstars, but it is primarily, from what I can tell, all Raw people. So the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest are the tag team champions as of right now. Then they're also going against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, that they're going against the New Day, as well as The Miz and R-Truth. I don't want The Miz and R-Truth to win, just because like once that moment ends, like they're not really, I don't see them doing much with the tag team titles, but I guess we'll see. But those are my picks to win that match. As far as figures go, this is the top picks. Finn Balor, this is from the Wrestlemania. This is his Pride gear, so he came out with the LGBT community. And he had this rainbow gear. I like the colors on this one a lot. I think they look really cool and they pop out. It's a decent Finn Balor head sculpt. But yeah, the rainbow looks cool. The only thing I don't like about the rainbow is the back of it doesn't align on the knee pads. That's okay. It's a nice, with Finn Balor wearing black, the rainbow really pops off of it. Over here is the Top Picks Kofi Kingston figure. Really bright gear. This is like an Xavier Woods kind of inspired gear when he was injured, so he's got the wristband as well. Nice head sculpt, and the blonde hair is different. Can we all agree that we hate Kofi Kingston in the MMA shorts? Not a fan at all of that. And over here, this is the Bootios Xavier Woods, so he's got like the Goku inspired hair. He's got the trombone, nice black and gold gear. I wish they were doing more with the New Day, and it really sucks that Big E's injured. I hope he comes back as soon as possible, as healthy as possible if he can, but I guess that kind of remains to be seen. But I'm just happy to see the New Day on the WrestleMania card, just like I'm happy to see Tommaso Ciampa on the on the WrestleMania card. This is the ringside exclusive Blackheart figure. So if you can take off the helmet or the mask and everything. Yeah, I miss his NXT days where he was the champion, and everything. His feud with Johnny Gargano was great. He has great matches with Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream. I mean, this guy was killing it at one point. I mean, he's still doing, if it'll focus, he's still doing fine now. It's just not, I guess he's not as prominent as he used to be, which kind of sucks. But again, happy to have DIY actually at WrestleMania. That's super cool. I just unfortunately don't think they'll be winning. I don't think the New Day will be winning. Maybe the Judgment Day retains, but honestly, I do just expect R-Truth and The Miz to win just because of the big pop that they are definitely going to get. I mean, the R-Truth stuff has been funny, but aside from being a joke, I don't know how long or how much mileage is on that gimmick, but hey, let's just hope for the best because the rest of this WrestleMania season has been really incredible. So these last two figures are being included simply for the speculation of all of it. Everyone on Twitter thinks that at the end of night 2, John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin, two former rivals of The Rock and Roman Reigns, will come down and help Cody win the WWE Undisputed Championship. And honestly, at this point, I don't know how you don't do it. I know Cena has been free around this time period. He doesn't have any movies to do or anything like that. He's posted on Instagram a picture of Roman Reigns as well, so that's kind of telling. I don't know how accurate these reports are, but they've also said that Steve Austin is available for WrestleMania and would be willing to do something. So for me at this point, it seems likely that these two are going to show up at some capacity. So for this Steve Austin action figure, this is the Hall of Fame series. This was a Target exclusive line, so this is Steve Austin in more of like a promo gear with the denim shorts. He's got the vest, the One More Ride vest, and I gave him the WWE Championship from the Attitude Era. He's got the knee braces on and the tattoo. And then this John Cena, this was, I don't even remember what Elite Wave this one was, but he wore these colors towards the end of his United States title run when he lost the belts at like Hell in a Cell or something like that. He had these colors. He definitely had these colors when he faced Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. for the US title. But yeah, that's John Cena and Steve Austin. I remember I got this figure at like a Marshalls or Ross or like a discount chain or something like that. He was a really cheap action figure. But yeah, honestly, like given the fact that biggest star from the 90s, biggest stars from the 2000s, and part of the 2010s too, like WWE has the chance to make the most overbooked and dramatic ending to a WrestleMania ever, yet still have it work in a way. Like, I don't see how you don't do this. So I do think that the odds of these two legends showing up is pretty high. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up my WrestleMania sort of action figure showcase. I know I didn't go over every single match on the card, but I did want to go over the ones that I did actually have figures for, just so you guys can get a little bit of a look at my wrestling collection that I do have. I do have some other stuff that I do want to show off in the future. Like I have a lot of AEW figures I do want to at least talk about. Might not like them, definitely want to talk about them because I think it's interesting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this and talking about some really cool wrestling, some really cool action figures. Remember to drop your predictions in the comment section below. Let's have a talk about what we think is going to happen at quite possibly one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. Thank you guys so much for joining me with all of this. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.